Good everybody, Chris Farhi here from the Bayleys Insights and Data team. We've got Ankur Dakwale to talk about the biggest news in New Zealand real estate. Somewhere a little bit different today, not even in Auckland, which is kind of cool. So whereabouts are we, Ankur?
Yeah, so we are in the incredible 5 La Cascina lane in Riccarton in Christchurch. This is an excellent 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom property. It's got 2 lounges and a study. It's an excellent position property. It's 2 minutes walk away from Hagley Park, and on the other side is the CBD as well. It's a unique architectural home on a 658 square meter parcel, beautifully established garden with an outdoor gas fire and also a built-in barbecue. Now, if you want to learn more about this property, please get in touch with Wendy Miles from Bayleys in Christchurch.
So kicking off the news this week, we've got the Reserve Bank who increased the official cash rate. And so the official cash rate has gone from 3.5 to 4.25%, so it's up 75 basis points. And so the key reasons driving the Reserve Bank's decision is basically that inflation's still too high and they're seeing a lot of supply constraints within the labour markets. So they're trying to soften the economic conditions generally, and some of the predictions that were coming out for them were technical recession potentially next year, just as those interest rate impacts start to come through.
Next up, we have the Real Estate Institute releasing the results for October 2022. Now, with that, they've resulted the national median price is $825,000. This is 7.5% down on a year-on-year basis, but it's about 1.9% up on a month-on-month basis. A general trend is there's a marginal increase in the value of property.
So those stats are pretty interesting because I guess over the course of 2022 so far we've seen a downward trend on prices, but those latest stats are actually showing a level of stability in the housing market, which is obviously nice for all the homeowners out there. Next up, an operator or tenants are being sought for the Auckland Showgrounds in Auckland. And so there's been a bit of media coverage over the past couple of days. So this property is owned by the Cornwall Park Trust Board, and the revenue that's generated from the site goes to funding the park, which is obviously a really exciting cause. In terms of the process at the moment, so an interim operator has been appointed to take short-term bookings around events, exhibitions and shows, which is cool, so it allows things to get going in the meantime. And it's actually Bayleys who's running the Expressions of Interest campaign. So if you are interested in it, feel welcome to reach out actually to myself or to Steve Rendell, and we'd be more than happy to discuss this.
Now, it's been long coming, but the government has announced regulation for property managers. The regulation would involve compulsory registration and licensing for residential property managers and their organizations as well. There would also be mandatory training, entry requirements, practice standards, and a complaints process put in too. Now, this is similar to what real estate agents have to go through to get registered as well, so it makes sense as a way to get rid of the cowboys that are operating in the market. The government has also extended the deadlines for healthy homes compliance. This was previously, the deadline was 1st of July 2024 for all private rentals to comply. This has been pushed out by a year to 1st of July 2025. They've also extended the deadline for Kaingaora and some other minor adjustments here and there as well.
Next up, plans have been announced for 850 new homes at the Trentham Racecourse in Wellington. And so this project has got funding from the Infrastructure Acceleration Fund to help kickstart the 850 new homes. And that will also include development of a shopping centre. So it sounds like a really cool project for that local area. The funding itself will be used to improve local transport infrastructure and to enable high density housing. And the income from the project will then be used to fund the club. So yeah, great little opportunity to, I guess, make use of some underutilised property.
Next up, we have a new $16 million office building that's been consented for Tauranga CBD. And this is going to be the headquarters of Manawa Energy and New Zealand Blood. It's going to be about 4 stories high, and it's part of one of 14 commercial consents that were issued by the council, valued at about $21 million.
Yeah, that one's really exciting. Like, there's a lot happening in Tauranga CBD at the moment, so cool to see another really nice office building going in there as well. Next up, going global to one of my favourite cities, New York. Our global partner, Knight Frank, has released their latest New York Market Insights report. And so within this, they found that prime prices within the New York market have increased about 5.2% in the year to September 22. Now, one of the interesting things with New York is that it didn't see the massive gain in values that a lot of other cities saw during the pandemic, and that was obviously from people leaving the local area. And so it's now had this lag effect with a lot of activity coming into the market. In terms of outlook at the moment, there's a lot of activity from investors right now who are hunting down the strong rental growth and the overall return of office workers to the city. So those are obviously good things. On the flip side though, they are expecting that price growth will slow in the short to medium term, just due to higher inflation and higher interest rates, similar to what we've seen in New Zealand.
Now moving to the European continent, Knight Frank has issued the Spain office snapshot for Q3 2022 as well. Now this shows that the vacancy rate as at Q3 was at 11.1%, which is about 1.7 million square meters. The take-up in Madrid is 50% higher than the first 9 months of 2021 and shows a comeback of the office market as well. In terms of rents, prime rent has also increased slightly to 33.5 euros per square meter per month.
Which is quite high.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's actually some good rates, and higher than I would have expected from Spain. So yeah, good on their market. And then finally, to wrap up, we've got our property of the week, and I'll kick off this week. So of course, I've got the Auckland Showgrounds. So we're currently seeking an operator or tenants for the Auckland Showgrounds. Around 22,500 square metres of facilities across 8.21 hectares of land, 6 large event and exhibition halls, substantial car parking and a large outdoor arena, full array of supporting amenities including seminar rooms and a commercial kitchen. There is an interim operator in place if you do want to make bookings in the short term while the expressions of interest is underway. And if you want to learn more about this, you can contact myself, so it's Chris Farhi, or you can talk to Steve Rendell from the Bayleys commercial team.
And my property of the week this week is this property we're sitting in right here. It's the beautiful 5 La Cascina Lane in Riccarton, Christchurch. Again, it's 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2 lounges and a study. Excellent positioning, 2 minutes from Hagley Park. Beautiful architectural home. Beautiful garden as well, so it's nice, well established with outdoor gas fire and a built-in barbecue for those upcoming summer months as well. Now, if you want to learn more about this property, please get in touch with Wendy Miles from Bayleys in Christchurch.
We'll wrap it up here, so thanks very much, Ankur.
Thanks, Chris.
Massive thanks to Wendy and the vendor for this property for giving us this great place to film in, and with that said, we'll see you next time. See ya.
See ya.